Now more on Peter Cook's life and legacy, the Grand Rapids businessman and philanthropist who passed away last night of a heart ailment at the age of 96. He had a vision that few in this country shared. He knew the American people would fall in love with the small car, something the U.S. automakers were failing to build. So he established a foreign car business right here in Grand Rapids and the Midwest that was the envy of the nation and that gave the big three a run for their money.
You're the chairman. Now you say to the board member, now we're going to vote on something. I want you all to vote yes, will you? Okay. Yeah, okay. Chairman of the board.
Peter Cook says he never planned to be chairman of the board. He never even thought he'd own his own company. But he started exclusively selling foreign cars in Michigan and the Midwest when no one else did.
I remember when Volkswagen, they wanted me to set up our headquarters in Detroit. There was a Detroit Auto Show, and union guys were picketing and everything. Because unions didn't want those foreign cars. They allowed me to headquarter in Grand Rapids.
Peter Cook was born May 9, 1914, on the west side of Grand Rapids, first living on Shamrock, then London Street.
My folks had 5 boys in a 2-bedroom bungalow. So it taught me just to be thankful for so many, any little thing.
Raised in the Great Depression, he says, we didn't even know we were poor. Peter went to South High School, a year behind President Gerald Ford. He attended Davenport and worked in accounting and finance at different companies. He married Pat in 1940 at Grace Reformed, his lifelong church. They adopted 2 sons. His wife suffered from Alzheimer's for several years. He cared for her in their home until her death 2 years ago. In his rise to the top of his profession, Peter Cook had a mentor who introduced him to the foreign car business in the 1940s. Then in the 50s, Peter and his partners at Import Motors expanded the foreign car market in the U.S., selling the German Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche. Then in the 70s, Cook and his partners formed Transnational Motors, known as Mazda Great Lakes, to distribute the Japanese-made Mazda throughout the Midwest. Cook's business grew to 130 dealerships before he sold it. His philanthropy grew as well. He and his wife established the Cook Charitable Foundation.
I give about $1 million every year.
Up until his death, he would come into his office at Cook Holdings once a week. He continued making huge donations to local universities, hospitals, museums, churches, and other causes in this community. He lived his whole life in Grand Rapids and never forgot his city or its needs.
It was hard earning it, but it's fun to give it. It's been a great life. Never in the world did I dream of being able to do what I'm able to do now.
He was a beloved member of this community. We have much more in the life of Peter Cook. You can see it online at woodtv.com. Brian?
Thanks, Suze.